seems that the idea is if you were a slaveholder, you were not a Christian, period. It is an absolutely disqualifying sin, as if there was an absolutely united understanding. The funny thing is, that book that I mentioned to you blows that away. It blows that away. It takes the time to go through the history and even talk about some of the early abolitionists and the fact that their reasons for abolition were not really good reasons. And in fact, I did learn some things, by the way. One of the things I learned is that Abraham Lincoln asked, I'd never heard this before, but he asked his military people, what we did, or what would be possible, could it be possible to ship all the Negroes back to Africa? Do we have the shipping in our merchant marine and our military fleet to transport all the Negroes back to Africa once we have freed them in the war? Didn't know that, huh? I never saw that. I visited the Lincoln Memorial many times. I didn't see any discussion of that. When abolitionism began, it began very moderately. And it only became more radical in the 1830s and 1840s, and that's what resulted in the various splits. There had been many in the South that were members of abolitionist movements, but for gradualism rather than instant abolishment. Sound familiar? Believe me, the abolish human abortion guys go all over this stuff. This is part of their thing, their shtick. And so immediately issues like interracial marriage started coming up and all sorts of stuff like this that we look back upon and from a biblical perspective ask, why were these traditions regarding race, because there is no such thing, there's one, regarding race and marriage. You've got kinism today. Kinism is a disgusting movement, but there are kinists out there. There are kinists watching this right now. I find your beliefs disgusting. Always have, by the way. And I've told the reasons why. No one cares about my experience along those lines, but if you don't care about my experience, then I'm sorry, it's going to be really tough for me to care about yours. But be it as it may, these traditions that developed, Whitfield's belief that if Georgia doesn't have slavery, there's no way that they're going to be able to develop the land, that they're going to be invaded from other forces, and they're not going to be able to defend themselves, they're not going to be able to build cities, blah, 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 blah. They saw this as an absolutely necessary thing for the survival of the infant nation. Okay, you can take all of that, put it on the plate,